This is CHSR 97.9 FM here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. This is Python's Paradise, your film and music show, and this is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena. And folks, Jason still lives, I guess. But you know what? I've been so happy. The guest I've got coming on here today has been on here for her third time. This is her third time on here. I absolutely love and adore this woman. Folks, I give you the lovely, the beautiful, the talented Nancy McLoughlin from Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Stranded at the side of the road with her American Express card, right?
No, I was at one time, but not any longer.
Well, stay out of the puddles, at least, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't get
good. I live in California.
Yeah, you don't get
no
good
rain.
traction in there.
Huh?
You don't get good traction there.
Oh, that's true.
And Jason
That's
does
true.
not. And Jason does not take American Express, apparently.
He does not. We learned that day.
Yes.
I thought all people could be bought, but not. Not.
Yeah, you probably should have rode back into town in reverse. You know, I mean, Tony Goldwyn made his mistake. Just leave.
Well, he kind of did well for himself. He rolled back into reverse into the presidency of the United States. He did fine.
Yeah, but he did end up with a hole in him, Curtis. Well, I guess he leaped for joy over Jason, you know? I mean, right over Jason's head with a little help.
Yes, he did. He's so funny. You crack me up. How do you come up with these things?
I'm good.
Yes, you are.
I gotta
You
say,
are.
though, what great casting. You and Carrie Noonan never share the same screen time, but your characters are sisters, and you do really resembled each other in that movie. Like, I mean, was that a conscious thing when Tom cast that?
Honestly, I don't know. I would assume so. And how about, this is something I've not thought of at all. I didn't realize we were sisters. I totally forgot.
Yeah,
That's
remember.
not good.
Well, remember when they show up at the police station? Carrie Noonan goes,
Yes.
"Yeah,
No, you're totally correct. How about I forgot that?
there you go." Yeah.
Oh, my. When you don't think of something. Now, Carrie and I have always been very, very close through the years, as close as one can be from the other side of the country. And on the set, tremendously close. Great kinship.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I'm sure there was that thought in mind. I'm sure of it.
I have to say that I don't know whether Tom McLoughlin did the casting for that, but whoever did a good job there.
Who did the casting? I know I went in. I went in like I was not married to him, though. Then I know. Because all those casting people that I didn't know, we would never say I was married to him for whatever reason.
Okay.
Isn't that funny?
Mm.
I don't think I ever shared that with anyone.
Well, you did today.
I know. It was just sort of like, we just always felt like you don't want to get the job because you're married to somebody. And so we would just like, and I mean, after a while, people knew we were married, and so
You know what?
they would know.
I really don't get that criticism, you know. I mean, Brian De Palma took that a little bit too whenever he would cast Nancy Allen when he was married to her, and Nancy Allen did some good work for him, you know. And you got Melissa McCarthy and Ben Falcone, I think that's his last name. I mean, they're married and they work a lot
They're
together.
lovely.
Yeah, it's like, what's wrong with casting your spouse? I think number one, it shows you believe in your spouse's talent. And number two, it gives you a chance to work together, you know? I mean, you have to have a really good connection to work
I
together.
fully agree.
Yeah, like I hear these criticism. Oh, they're just casting so-and-so because they're married. Why not? you know?
Well, that's true. I never thought about that. But literally, the people, I think it was more from yesteryear that attitude was more prevalent, because all my friends, all the people I know that now that are more in the millennial age, they work together consistently, but they're all so talented that nobody would even question. And they work harder probably, as I did, as I'm sure Nancy did, harder on the set than anybody else, because you're vested. You have a vested interest in, being as good as you can. You care more.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you don't care more, because I can't say that. That's rude to say to someone who's not married to the director. But usually I would assume if you're, your husband's producing or your wife's producing or wife's directing, whatever, you just care that much more for the crew, I think. I know I always did.
Well, I know that you were hands-on in Jason Lives. I think you were. What did you say you were there? I think one of the other two interviews we did, you were there at Easter time.
Oh yeah, and everybody had an Easter basket.
Yeah. Did you give Carrie Noonan an Easter basket?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I'm talking every grip and electric.
Yeah.
Yes. I wasn't just talking cast. I was talking everybody that was there.
Yeah. Even
I know.
even Vincent Gastafrano with his little red dot ya bang gun.
That would be Vinny Guastafaro. I'll correct you on that one. Vinny Guastafaro. Why
What
they
did
call
I?
him Vincent
What?
is his proper name, but
Oh.
Vinny is what he goes by. And
Okay.
yeah, he for sure got one.
Yes.
He probably got a bigger one.
I wonder if that was what was in the picnic basket during the double impalement scene when his wife was with that guy and they were having the picnic.
That's so funny. I doubt it, because that was shot here in L.A.
Yeah. Did they give
They needed more kills, so they shot that here.
Did you give a basket to Bob Larkin, the gravedigger, or did he just get paid in booze?
He got everything. Anything he wanted. He was such a lovely man.
I'd like to get him on here, I think, number one, I sat and I thought about this recently, because I really love the midnight audience. And thinking about the Friday the 13th movies, there's only one out of that entire franchise I would consider a midnight movie. Like in the midnight movie, I say something that's equivalent to an event film. And I think Jason Lives would be the one that I would qualify as an event film, because it's got all the characteristics that go with it. The song by Alice Cooper,
Yeah.
and the other music involved with it. You've got all of the references to other movies, because Tom McLoughlin, the director, was just up on these old monster movies, including how Jason was resurrected. Totally a take from Frankenstein, And even some of the one-liners were just great, like Ron Palillo and his, "My heart can't take it anymore." Well, his heart's literally not going to take it anymore.
Exactly. It's stuff like that very few writers put in there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he happens to be a very gifted, all things he does kind of guy. He's kind of brilliant.
I think they should have brought Tom McLoughlin back to the franchise to direct, because I think that for somebody, I didn't even realize for the longest time there was no nudity in that film, but he brought something extra to the movie. I think his version is fun. I think it's one of the best of the franchise. Another great line too. And one of my favorites was Bob Larkin, the caregiver. He's drunk off his mind, and and he takes that bottle and goes, "You're gonna be the death of me."
Yeah. Yes, there's all that fun. It really is.
Like, stuff like that is just great. Like, to me, there was a little bit of care going to this as opposed to just a bunch of slasher scenes.
When was the last? You did interview Tommy on this, right?
I interviewed.
He'd love to hear all this.
Oh yeah, I interviewed Tom McLoughlin. I interviewed Tom Matthews. I interviewed you my third time now. Carrie Noonan's been on here, and Whitney Rideback.
All great people.
Yep.
I love Whitney. He's so wonderful. Tom Matthews, beyond, beyond, beyond.
Oh yeah, I love them both. Um, yeah, Tom Matthews still out there too doing the conventions, and I gotta say, and it's interesting because he's the third one to play Tommy Jarvis, and yet, and then of course Corey Feldman, of course, had a major following anyway because he did Gremlins the same year that he did Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and he had Goonies and Lost Boys and Stand By Me and all that stuff to come. But Tom Matthews really is one of the people that people associate with the role of Tommy Jarvis. And even in the video game, it is Tom Matthews' version of Tommy Jarvis being featured. And Tom Matthews is brought in to do the voice and this and that. And I think a lot of it, and this is nothing against John Shepard in the fifth one, but I think Tom Matthews brought a little more personality, I should say, to the role of Tommy Jarvis. I like what he brought to it, and people really like him.
I love his guts. I think he's a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
I think his career should be 10 times more than it is. Yeah. And everything he does, I really admire. But I would fully agree with you. I fully agree. He is the iconic Tommy, in my opinion, but not because I worked with him, and not because I know him. Well, you never can separate the two, can you? But I really believe Six is by far the best.
Oh, you know what? I agree. And it's just like, here's the thing. I hate it now when I see horror films that are just, slasher films just for the sake of being slasher films. But I love it when they bring something to the screen that engages an audience, And and I think what was brought to Jason Lives elevated it a little bit with the humor. And I think, and here's the thing too, like when you get characters you actually care about, that elevates it. And I think there's a big difference between Jason Lives and Jason X. One goes for a big body count, and the other one, like even the moments that aren't horrifying, like the paintball scene, stuff like that. They could have left that out as an unnecessary subplot, but man, does it ever add to the movie?
Exactly. Well, that's when, I recall from the first script, actually, I was going through old scripts, and how about I found the first treatment that was sent to Paramount?
Yeah.
I thought that was hysterical. And the first script with all the notes, the shooting script. I was just going, gosh, that's cozy. But I know several kills were added because they didn't think it was graphic enough.
Gee, that's usually not the case. I mean, look at part 7. Poor John Carroll Beechler, his movie got slaughtered with the censors, and so many people.
He's a nice man. I love him.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because people would love to see an uncut version, and he's not able to deliver it, because all the footage.
Nope.
I think the Paramount, got rid of all the footage or something of that nature.
Oh.
Yeah, and they just censored that film to death,
Well, I wonder if they did with Evil Dead as well, because Evil Dead was like, really, it was the same year as Friday the 13th, and no, it was the same year as One Dark Night, which was earlier. And I know it was considered X-rated at the time, and now it's not in the slightest, but I wonder if they kept any of the footage that they could release something more graphic. Just curious.
Well, it amazes me stuff they do find, like, I love the extended cuts of the Blues Brothers and Stripes and movies like that. They're able to add stuff in and bring it to even fuller completion. But
Mhm.
I find when it comes to violent movies, I guess they suffer in comparison today, where things are digital and they actually film stuff just to put in extras for a disc release.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah. But Jason Lives had so many things in it that just stand out. Like I'll give you example. I love the moment where there's the car chase because it just takes you away from it being a slasher film, and it's just a rebellious daughter, a guy trying to avoid having his balls being used as earrings, to quote David Kagan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and you got a dad slash sheriff. I love elements like that were added into the film because I think it brings a lot more depth to the movie.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. I think that's ultimately what a movie is a story. If you want to tell a story well, you got to care well, you got to love well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on a web series that we just started shooting just a few nights ago, and I'm watching the source material again. I've read the book, and now it's a 19th century old classic called The Moonstone.
Mm-hmm.
And in 95, they did a miniseries on it. So it's like from PBS, 1995. Great. I don't even know. Maybe it's 2005. I got to look at that again. 2005, I want to say. But to see the source material and to see how, even in a web series, even in a transmedia thing, how attention to detail these filmmakers are.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable. Our backstories, our props, our lack of props, our props from the first season. It's unbelievable. That's how you make a good story. If you care, people will watch. You know what I mean? If
Yep.
you put the detail and all that, people will watch junk. And who's to say what's junk? I really am not the bearer of all what's talent, not talent. But clearly, I can watch things that aren't that intriguing to other people, just in whatever. But when you watch I'm not a huge, as you well know, horror fan. So I haven't seen all the Friday the 13th, but I am a huge fan of a great movie. And Friday the 13th has all of that, and I can watch it endlessly. And right now, working on a web series, you would think if people do it in front of a blank wall, they just speak and anybody will watch. Well, they will a lot of times. But then you add all the necessary things like a great dialogue, great timing, great jokes, great inside jokes, great caring about each detail, then that's what makes an artist, I think. And an artist, honestly, will never leave something alone. It's never finished. A piece is never finished. It might be an abandoned piece. It might be a piece that was put out and people love it. But I know an artist, it's like tearing a baby away from a mama. Our babies are art.
Yep. Yeah, of course.
So I'm sure Tommy, if he had more time, he would have done more with it.
Well, you know what? Your web series, Jack Marshall Can't Do This. Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, I've watched the whole thing. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with that week after week. I love the fact that you guys, that Jack Marshall was engaging. He was amusing. He was able to hold our attention. And I love the fact that by the end of it, and I won't give anything away, there was stuff I was able to predict, and there was stuff that I was not able to predict, Like, I remember I was always on the side of the butler, I think we're supposed to be swayed not to believe him, but I was kind of like, he's too likable not to, And
He is wonderful. His name's Dave Huber,
hmm
and he is spectacular. And my feeling is this isn't going to be, you're not going to play this for a while, right?
that's right.
This interview?
That's right.
Because I don't want to give anything away.
Nope, you're good.
Should I tell you something?
Sure.
Okay, this won't be on till after, when does it start being released? Top of December.
Well,
Actually,
this
they're going to,
this probably won't be aired until probably next year, so you're probably
good. No worries then.
you're safe.
Okay, so this is season 2,
Mm-hmm.
but they're taking a different story. They're taking a different classic story and turning it into the series. And so Jack is not as in this as much because, as life would be, scheduling and everything like this, it takes a lot of demands to do a web series. And we're doing over 300 pages of content, which is full movies, and we're still doing it in 40 episodes. So it's a big, huge undertaking. It's huge. That stated, it's going to be much more of an ensemble cast. And so House has come back. Donnie is the central figure, and Paul are the central figures. It's just going to have so much more production value. It's hysterical. I love these people. It is a family.
You gotta bring any Jason Lives people into it, like Whitney?
It's been cast. It wasn't. I wasn't asked about the casting ahead of time. They cast it without me. But there will be some people you'll be surprised by.
Oh.
But I'm not sharing.
Okay. No, no, you know what? Leave it a surprise. I love that. Makes me invested. What about Abby Gabby Corncob?
My beloved angel, who was here yesterday and the day before. We had a baby shower for one of our friends, and Marianne Holland. By now, her beloved son is born. She's just wonderful. She's spectacular. And you do know her husband is the writer. It's written by Victoria Grant. Forgive me, Victoria Hansen, Grant Hansen, and Josh Cobb.
Yep.
And Josh Cobb, which is Abby Gabby Corncob's husband, whom I love to pieces. They're a great team.
Don't you love that name I gave her?
A lot of,
What's that?
You will be seeing and hearing a lot about this production company.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, don't you love the name I gave Abby Gabby Corncob?
And actually, yes, I do. And she laughed hysterically.
Good.
I have used it several times on her.
She should have a name
with this huge smile on her face.
Yeah, she always has an amusing look on her face. I've seen some of her pictures,
She's doing so much right now. She's in another series, and she's filming a movie with Shirley MacLaine.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's impressive, yeah.
Yeah. So she's doing really well. Everybody's doing really well.
Yeah, I know one thing she hasn't done.
Your interview
That's
show?
right. That's right.
That girl's busy. She runs a studio herself called AFA, Actors for Actors.
Mm-hmm.
She runs that and teaches acting classes at night. She self-tapes people. She runs her full career working. She and Chelsea Ricketts, whom I love, is another brilliant actress who just she does a million things all the time. Brilliant actress, beautiful, young, and between together they run AFA, and it's amazing.
So when are you going to do a Cucumber Girl movie? Because I think you should cast Abby Gabby Corncob to play Pickles.
She'd be my perfect little pickle. She's a little pickle. Yeah, I got to get it written first. I don't have that all sussed out, but I am writing, and I'm in a great writers group, which is wonderful. It's all under the umbrella of Greenhouse Arts and Media. You know that. And as is Creative Lab, where I met all these wonderful people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going very well.
I could help you cast that movie.
Cucumber Girl?
Yeah. You see, you can get Whitney in there with his paintball gun and his big goggles.
Oh, yes. We just need those props, period. And
that's a good look for him.
a very good look. I think he might do it.
Yeah. And get Bob Larkin in there. I like
All
these.
is good.
I love these characters like that. You know, they just stole their moments.
Totally.
Yeah.
And actually in Moonstone, that's what I'm seeing. We've only done like a few episodes so far. The new characters that are coming on are just owning it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this season is going to be tremendous. Oh, Grant Hansen is in the Moonstone.
Mm-hmm.
He's also an excellent actor as well. And when you see him and the character he's playing, you're going to go crazy, Greg.
Okay. So there's no Abby Gabby in this season, huh?
I'm not 100% sure because I haven't read all the episodes yet.
Oh.
And whenever we're talking about 5,000 things that we never get around to everything we need to talk about.
I hope we see you in it.
Oh, I'm definitely in it.
Yes, you and your beautiful red hair.
Yes, that would be me.
That would
the
be you.
Moonstone at the Marshall House Mysteries. No, the Moonstone, the Marshall, the second part, the Marshall House Mysteries.
I like the fact that you've given a different name to it for the second season. It gives it much more distinction. I like that.
Well, it's a different book completely, and it's a classic book. So that's why. And Jack is still going to be involved. It's just he's so busy that they couldn't have given him more, but it doesn't make sense with this book. So it's kind of nice that we're still all a family, but now it's this person's time to shine, or this person's time to shine. So that really works well.
Yeah, I watched all of that first season, and I wasn't sure how I was going to take to it because I've never watched a web series before. But I mean, again, this is how important casting and presentation is, because that first moment where he's in his tent and talking to the camera, you know, and I mean, I'm sorry, I forget the name of the actor who played Jack Marshall. Wes
Alderman.
Wes Alder. Okay. Yeah, I think that he was so engaging, and the fact of the matter is I was amused with him. I loved the humor part of it. And it
Me too.
Yeah, I took to him the same way I did Robert Hayes in Airplane, you know. It's the same kind of disposition, you know. And I think that really carried through, and it influenced me going into the next one and the next one and the next one, you know.
Oh, I'll tell him that. I will make sure he gets that compliment because he is an amazing actor, I think.
Yep. And of course, it didn't hurt when they had you on there with your red hair.
If I dye my hair blonde, what will you do?
I'm going to protest.
Greg, I know you will. I love that.
I'm going to protest. I mean,
Well,
I know that Whitney's hair is now dyed gray, but we can let that slide.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You'll let us age gracefully?
Not you.
Okay.
You have to stay young.
Okay, I promise.
You're 39.
I won't budge. I won't budge.
There you go. And of course, I always liked it when Abby Gabby Corncob was on screen as well.
What about my beloved Donnie? I loved my Donnie. The
Donnie.
cousin? The
Oh,
cousin.
oh, the cousin. The female. You
Yeah,
know what the funny thing is? I'm not used to women being called Donnie.
exactly. That's very true. Well, her new character, she's still Donnie actually. So she is the lead of the next one,
Oh, that's fantastic.
and she just shot yesterday 22 pages of mostly monologue, and was brilliant.
Oh, wow.
She's an actress to look out for. Plus, she's producing this. She's one of the executive producers. Plus, she's in charge of this. Plus, she's in charge. That woman did. Plus, she threw the baby shower the day before. We worked on that. It's just, she's an amazing woman. These people are nonstop goodness.
Oh, fantastic.
How can you
Fantastic.
say that about people?
Yeah.
It's such an honor.
Yeah,
It's
I
such an
liked I
honor to work
liked
with
her.
people you love that much.
Yeah, I liked her in the first series, you know. She being the one on the outside that was able to come in. And
Yeah,
yeah, because Jack Marshall obviously very limited to where he was had to go because of the written situation. So,
exactly.
but Donnie
I think
was
you're
not
going to
restricted.
love this one because it opens it up so much more. And we're going to use far more of the house. It's going to be more, and there's a huge New Year's Eve gala, which is
Mm-hmm.
going to be amazing.
That's
Um,
your house, isn't it?
it is.
I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
It's, I love it. And I love that it's here because I can put a little stamp of me on it. It
There
has
you go.
my decorations, my things that I raised my kids with, stuff like that. I love
I
that.
didn't see your kitty.
She's not in it.
Your kitty wouldn't make an interrupted cameo?
Oh, she hides when people come around. Now, Douglas, on the other hand, is not shy. I want Douglas to be a present, so I keep pushing it, but no one's picking up on it. So we'll see. I'm getting Douglas in this show.
There you go.
He's
D-
my man.
oh yeah. Did you I don't know if you got this or not, but my interview that I did a year ago June with Shen Li Fong just got uploaded onto my YouTube channel. I sent you the link. Did you get it?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
And guess the night I got home, it was Friday night, and I had just come home from the first greenhouse town hall meeting.
Okay.
They had their first one Friday night at Netflix. If you go on their Facebook, you'll see all the pictures from it.
Okay.
So I come home and I get your link,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so exhausted from the day. I fell asleep listening to that interview, and I loved it. So I have to re-listen to it because I really didn't hear it because I fell asleep so quickly. But I literally fell asleep listening to you and Shun-Li talk. I
Yeah.
can't believe the thing with Shun-Li, though, the other night. I totally forgot because I was so exhausted from filming and then going to that town. The meeting was so much fun to have like an old school town hall meeting
Mm-hmm.
about what's going on. And it was at Netflix. How perfect is that?
There you go.
So you're right in the heart of Hollywood.
Well, there
Big
you go.
lights, everything was perfect. And I really admire
Yeah.
that whole nonprofit.
There you go. There you go. Yep. But and I also, of course, appreciate the fact that you did the Doubtfire Face challenge. I still appreciate you for doing that. You know,
Thank
I'm
you.
still throwing that out to people. You know, and um, I'm right now. I think Adrienne King is going to do it from Friday the 13th, but I think she wants to do it at a convention. Um,
Oh, that's perfect.
yep.
That's where it should be done. Oh, my.
Yeah.
Get me invited to a convention, and I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I will get it, Jason. I'll do anything you want me to do to get that word out because that's important. And there's been so many actors lost since then due to
Yep.
the same silliness.
Yep.
Not silliness at all. Depression is not silliness, but the lack of awareness or the lack of getting the word out to how to help it. And I just admire you so much for standing beside the Mrs. Doubtfire Challenge, for Robin Williams,
Mm-hmm.
and for people that are. And they also say there is a percentage of depression in the attraction to horror, because it takes you away from the horror you're living with.
Mm-hmm.
I've done some research since the challenge,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been very fascinating to me. It's a group of, I think everybody in the world needs the Doubtfire Challenge personally, but I would say would be at a convention would be wonderful.
Well, I've been in talks with Adrian King. I challenged on my initial video, and but I think she wants to do it. I think it's just a matter of getting a pie, and to me, I think it's simple. Get a pie and film yourself doing it on your iPhone or
It
whatever. But
shouldn't be a pie. It should be a cake, because it was
okay,
a cake in the movie, and I did it
there
appropriately.
you go. But
You got to do it the right way. Pie in the face. No, it's a cake in the face. That's what
but
you
I
get.
do
And then you
know
say,
that
hello.
I do know that Adrian King is down with it. It's just a matter of when. But I know she'd be big because she was the original heroine. So, and but
No, she'd be wonderful. And the fact is, it's daunting sometimes. I think it's more daunting to think about doing the challenge than technically doing the challenge. The challenge can be done anywhere, any place.
hmm
It's a simple challenge. It's a wonderful challenge, and I'm challenging right now anybody that liked Friday the 13th Part 6 or watched it, anyone involved with Friday the 13th Part 6, do the Doubtfire Challenge in honor of Robin Williams in his memory, but do it for the people today, for more awareness on suicide prevention, depression. You know, it's not, well, I can say it in no simpler terms. It's not of God. Depression's not
nope.
of God. So let's just kick it to the curb and let's get into joy, because life is a joyful event. And often people, when they're in depression, they isolate.
Yes.
And alone, we need community. And that is one of the huge things about Greenhouse Arts and Media is they're about community.
hmm
They're about keeping creatives that can tend towards a more depressed, creative people, very artistic people. They can go on the dark side sometimes and isolate to do their work and stuff. No, keep a balanced life or a harmonious life. Keep a good community of people. If I could say that to the world, I'd scream it from the trees. Keep in community with people. Keep in community with your friends, your old friends, people you see on the street. Smile, say hello, make new friends. We're all meant to take care of one another. And I think that's why I support so much the Mrs. Doubtfire Challenge.
Yeah.
I understand it can be a very lonely world.
Yeah. Yeah. And Laura Park Lincoln was somebody too that hasn't done it yet, but I do know she's been challenged by me and by Scotty. So she
Lars Park Lincoln, I love you. When you come to California next, come to my house. We'll do it together. I will take anybody's hand and do it with them. I'll film it.
Yeah.
I don't even have to be in it. I'll do whatever it takes. I'm supporting you. I'm supporting you. And if I had my own podcast, if I had I am thinking about doing a little station on yoga.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned that to you. 3 minutes a day.
There you go.
Not a day. 3 minutes a week. Just because I think yoga I really believe in, well, it's yoking your body, mind, and spirit. So it's putting together the three, because God gave us all three of those. And you hear the word yoga and you say, oh, you got to be flexible. No, you don't. No, you don't. You get flexible by doing yoga. Oh, you've got to be real spiritual, or you're involved in this kind of spirituality. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I love God, and I just like to meditate and focus on what's good and what's right and what's clean and what's noble and what's pure.
Mm-hmm.
And I do my poses. So my idea of doing that kind of 3 to 5 minute little thing a week is like showing someone, bringing a friend in who really has every reason in the world that says, nah, I don't like it. I'm not flexible. Okay, well, let's start here. We're going to start in the kitchen. Oh, I have no place to do it. No, right here in the clothes you're wearing. We are not taking you to some studio.
There
So
you go.
show it and how simple you can do it wherever you are, and then drag them up to my yoga room, and then by then we'll be transformed into our yoga clothes and appropriately do the pose and say the medical benefits, see the physical benefits, and see, over a few months how you radically become transformed, and it is so good for your mind. I would add to the Mrs. Doubtfire challenge to add and do yoga. three
There
minutes
you
a
go.
day.
Now, Darcy is a strange case because she's on my friends list, but yet I can't seem to communicate an interview with her. So I don't, like she never seems to respond or even sees the message. So I don't know.
I know she is very busy, and she has a photography career. She's a very busy woman as well, very talented, and a family. She's got a lot going on.
And then there's Tom Fridley, another one who's
I
seen
just saw a picture of him. He's been doing the conventions recently.
Getting away from the charity talk here, I mean, we're talking about Moonstone. You had mentioned that's going to be more of an ensemble this time. And that always makes me think of like Woody Allen. He used a lot of ensembles in his movies, where a lot of different subplots, a lot of different characters,
That's
some
what's going on here.
interchanging. Yeah, and I love that idea. What beans can you spill about that?
The themes of the Moonstone are of reconciliation.
Okay.
Are of second chances, are of community, family, love. Now, not marriage, family, children like you were just discussing, but family like we are a family.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Of community, of people, of caring. The themes are very strong, and that's one of the reasons I admire this group of filmmakers. They care. And they poured tireless hours into reading zillions of books to what they wanted. They could have created their own thing, but they wanted to give homage just to the great classics. So finding a classic that maybe not everybody knew, and putting it in our day, our setting, because it takes place in the book 1849. So updating all that, what a creative challenge. It's so much easier just to write your own thing.
And you mentioned there's going to be some surprise cast members to me, huh?
There's someone we've discussed today who may make a very interesting, is cast. It's a very interesting part.
Hey, don't tell me. I love surprises.
Well, that's as much as you're getting from me.
There you go.
You'll know when you see the person.
Okay.
I'm not going to say male or female. Just going to say the person.
Okay.
And it's a great character.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, I look forward to that.
And we filmed the gala October 6th.
Okay.
So it should be coming. I mean, I have to start right now getting stuff ready to start organizing for the gala that will be held here.
Well, how well does this connect with the end of the first season? Or is there nothing in common at all?
Oh, it absolutely refers to it.
Okay.
Because it all is so instead of Jack Marshall can't do this, and it takes place at the house, now it's more about the house as an entity.
Okay.
So the house is a character unto itself.
Okay.
Where that was not an intentional thing. Well, yes, it was intentional. Forgive me. But it's just different. They looked for it this time. They didn't look for it last time. In the writing, it became an intentional part. This time, they had the location so they could more intentionally know what to do.
Okay, and you
Does
say,
that make sense?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
and
good.
so you say the central character is more Donnie this time?
Yes,
I
I
love
can say
that.
that with freedom.
You know what? I like that because she was such a free spirit in the first season. I like that.
She still is.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. I love my Donnie. I love my Victoria Hansen,
Oh, that.
PFF.
Oh, she's Victoria. She's the wife of Grant.
Yep,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I know.
Okay. Now all the pieces are starting to come together for me here.
So those are two power couples I look forward to seeing take over Hollywood is the Cobbs and the Hansons.
The Abby Gabby Corn Cobs.
Yeah, and Victoria Grant,
Oh, wow.
who has a great Katharine Hepburn quality.
Oh, there you go.
I know.
Well, I liked her in that first season. She was just.
I don't know if I shared this with you.
Mm-hmm.
Both my children are in the industry, and my daughter is becoming dear friends, and Shane's dear friends as well. So it's really opening up all our friendships, and I love to see my kids work with them, aside them. My kid Hannah's working on Fresh Off the Boat,
Mm-hmm.
which is great, and so she gets to bring some people on the show once in a while for crew and things like that. It's such a nice it's so nice that everybody can help one another. Shane's working on a series, I think it's for Showtime. It's one word. Oh, forgive me, I can't think of the title. It's the Toni Collette new
I don't know it either, but Toni
series.
Collette is a talent. I know that.
She's a brilliant actress. And so anyway, it's her new series, and I think I can't recall the title, but it's a amazing piece from what I hear about it. And he too will be, helping out here and there. It's so nice.
Yeah.
It's so nice when people can, just serve one another, help one another.
Absolutely. So, how many episodes are going to be in the second season? Because I know the first season had, what, 40?
Well, it was slated to have 40, and then they added an additional Christmas episode, so
Oh,
it
that's
made
right.
41.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
And this one is slated, I believe, to have 40 as well, but I think it's double the page count.
Oh.
So I believe the last was 140 pages, and this is 310 maybe.
Okay.
So Josh Cobb is working overtime is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You would love this man. Can you tell when I like somebody? I'm trying to think. There's no one I just like. I'm working with wonderful professionals.
Okay. And you say Abby Cobb's not going to be in this one as much, huh?
Clearly not as much.
And the reason why I bring this up is because of the
It's because
connection.
you love her.
Well, you know what? There was a connection there between her and one of the other characters at the end of the first season. And so, and that's why I'm wondering, But then again, you mentioned that character's not going to be central this time either.
Exactly.
So, okay. So maybe.
Well, I'll tell you in the beginning,
Okay.
the first episode, the reason we're not seeing Jack is because they're spending time with her family for Christmas.
Okay, well that makes sense. That's what I was trying to figure out. So maybe focusing on number one. I love the idea of focusing on Donnie. So she had wonderful screen presence and she's funny. So I actually like that take on it. So that answers my question right there. So because I hate it
So I
when.
gave you too much information.
Well, this is not going to come out for a while anyway, so don't worry
I
about it.
know. I was
But
teasing.
but I hate it when I see these movies where.
It
Uh,
just drops it. You have no clue what happened to
well,
him.
I loved Bad Santa. Then
Yeah,
Bad
yeah.
Santa 2 comes out, and they don't have Lauren Graham in it. And so I hate the way they wrote that out.
Yeah,
They,
just ignore the whole thing.
yeah, it's like, did it matter at all in that first film? And it's almost like there was little effort. Another one, this one really disappointed me. I loved the movie Ted, but
Yes.
Ted 2 left a sour taste in my mouth because you had such a connection between Mark Wahlberg and Mila Kunis. That was really important, especially by the end of the film and what she does.
Yeah.
And then in the second one, she's not there, and I think it's because Mila Kunis was not able to come back. And I could have thought of a million different ways that they could have dealt with that. And
Exactly.
I hated what they did. I thought it was lazy, and so I'm glad to see it that Jack Marshall can't do this, is avoiding that catastrophe.
Oh, no. He's definitely going to be in it for sure. And so the first is because, because he's having the holidays with Olivia. And so it's a happy kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, it's a happy kind of thing. We got Donnie back. So Donnie's going to be kind of the lead in this one, huh?
She is.
That's great.
22 pages of dialogue yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Darn straight she's a lead. Do you know how difficult that is to do?
I don't want to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
Oh, wow.
She did a brilliant job.
Oh, fantastic. Wow. And I'm looking forward
and it's
to...
also fun just to be there. I don't know. I had that maternal thing towards this group.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's fantastic. I'm glad you're still going to church and keeping a very positive attitude. Like, I feel uplifted when I talk to you. So.
Oh, thank you.
I do.
Yeah.
I know so many people, if they're wronged in the church, they just leave everything altogether. Well, I can't do that because eternity is a long time to regret. So, I encourage you a step further. Dive back in. The water's fine. There's churches out there, and I'm sure there are churches, that aren't as fun. And, not every church is for everybody, but there's a church for everybody. And there's a community. I look at it as there's a community for everybody. Yeah.
That's how I look at it. And not every church is for me. And certainly not every faith are my faith. Am I going to diss that? No.
No.
That's not my job. My job is to put seeds out there and be grateful for what I have. And be grateful.
Absolutely.
I'm so grateful.
There you go. So, have you guys haven't started filming the second season yet, huh?
Oh yeah, we started this week.
Oh, you started
That's
this
why
week.
That's one of the reasons I have to take off, because I have a meeting I have to get to for it. Costumes. We've got so much going on.
Yes, you got to get Abby fitted for pickles.
I know. I like this. I think she's going to enjoy it.
I did want to know.
I know about it. I don't think.
There you go. Yeah, we're planning it for her. Despite.
She doesn't even know I'm doing it.
Yeah, we're going to plan it for her.
We're brainstorming behind her back.
There you go. Well, tell me. Yeah, I was wondering how many people from Jason Lives are you still in touch with?
On the regular, not many.
Mm-hmm.
I would say not as much. Everybody's got so much going on,
Mm-hmm.
As you say, Whitney, he's a professor. He teaches. He also runs the whole directing program. He, is putting on content after content over at the college he runs that he teaches at. So people have multiple interests, family, this, that, and, keeping a career going. So not as many. Some people live in cross country. I'd say most are living far away.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I know Carrie's
So
not in your vicinity. I do know that. She's lived.
she's close to you.
I was actually surprised
Yeah.
how close she was to me. But
And her husband's brilliant. Part of Gaelic Storm created it, and that's as you know, the Irish band on the Titanic. Just amazing.
mm-hmm.
So it just people's paths go different ways, but it doesn't take away from the love.
No.
Make new friends, but keep the old. Some are silver, the other gold.
Well,
You remember that song?
yeah. Yeah, well.
Oh, those dogs. I better go. One is looking for my key. I've been dressing while we've been talking
Yeah.
because I didn't want to hang up. I've been enjoying myself so much. And I'm late, which is not good.
Yeah, but you're talking to me, so.
I know. I can't get off the phone. I love it.
There you go. Well, you know what?
Good thing.
I was so happy to have you come on a third time. And you know what?
I appreciate it.
I'll keep in touch with you, and I will definitely I'll reach out and have you come on again next year, and we can get a good update on the third season,
Our yearly update.
Yes. Oh, you enjoying your cat calendar that I sent you?
Oh, yes. I had to take it down because it said the month, and
Yeah.
for whatever. So I was just going through it, laughing right before you called, actually.
Yeah,
The pictures are hysterical.
Does your cats look at that and say, none of this is true?
Well, my cat, she's different. She's my pretty girl. She just sits outside. And right now, that's a long story. Don't get me talking. I'm already late. I got to run. I got to fly.
You gotta fly. Well,
I got to fly, Greg.
Well, please do a plug for my show before you go.
Okay.
Go for it.
Hi, this is Nancy McLoughlin from Friday the 13th, Part 6, and, well, a zillion other things. Listening to Greg Gilbert from Python Radio out of New Brunswick, Canada. Just always grateful to hear him, listen to him, and to speak with him.
Absolutely.
Doodle.
Absolutely. God bless you, Nancy, and thanks for being an inspiration and encouragement to me.
Oh, God bless you, and thank you. You do that for me, and that's what we do in life. We